Chu Changjian was intimidated by Sha Jingyu's intense look. Slightly startled, he gave an affirmative nod. Yes, only the 10 great holy disciples will be brought along. Only the 10 great holy disciples would be brought along. Sha Jingyu filled with hope. I will participate in the storm competition. Sha Jingyu's clear eyes were determined. Chu Changjian slightly quivered. He could almost feel Sha Jingyu's hidden strength awaken and fill the room. Long Xiaoyu could not bear to watch. Jingyu, you have just recovered from a fatal injury, therefore not advisable for you to participate, she whispered. Sha Jingyu stepped outside of the house, raising her head as she gazed up at the snow-filled sky. Under the heavy snow, her pair of beautiful eyes watered. I have to go. That was Su Yu's last wish. To make the trip to Fenghuang Valley, and on his behalf, and tell Xian'er that he fought for her to the very end. Looking at her lonely figure, gradually covered by snow, Long Xiaoyu was at a loss. Sha Jingyu had lost her soul. The storm competition had finally arrived. The sanctuary would soon be dissolved, so this would be the last storm competition. The storm competition would be divided into 2 segments. The competition between the prospective holy disciples, and the individual rankings of the 10 great holy disciples. The venue would be in front of the Holy King's Great Hall. Sha Jingyu had braved the snow to reach the venue. Her eyes reflected the snowflakes which filled the skies. The snow-white beauty was incredibly alluring. But she appeared unreachable, like an ice sculpture, frozen in body and soul. Su Yu's tale was spread among the prospective holy disciples. Burying himself along with the Slayer King was both commendable and unfortunate. Sha Jingyu had gone against the Slayer King together with Su Yu. She was alone now, however, the only survivor. She had to take care of herself, now. Dong. The holy bell sounded once again. The battle of the prospective holy disciples was about to begin. The gates of the Holy King's Great Hall had not yet been opened, but nobody doubted whether the Holy King was watching everything. The competition of the prospective holy disciples utilized the arena system. There would be consecutive challenges. The one who defeated all would become king of prospective holy disciples. Chu Changjian would host of the matches. He casually grabbed a name off the list and his expression became perplexed. Sha Jingyu, come up the stage. Swoosh. She flew onto the stage agilely. The celestial beauty's unmatched elegance contrasted against the snowy background. Her ice-cold beauty and snow-like eyes made her appear inhuman. The challenger will be chosen according to last year's ranking, from bottom to top. After every victory, you may rest for an hour. Chu Changjian announced the rules. The first battle. The first contestant was the 101 ranked disciple, a level 5 upper tier. I admit defeat. The next battle. I admit defeat. Sha Jingyu's level 7 upper tier gave her an overwhelming lead, which caused the low-ranked people to all give up. Only the top 10 prospective holy disciples would challenge Sha Jingyu. Junior Jingyu, I cannot match you. I give up. The lowest-ranked senior sister Lu cupped her fists and retreated. Zhang Mingyi, ranked 9th, had fallen in the evil forest. Swoosh. Lu Dong, ranked 8th, was level 7 lower tier. I'll battle you. Lu Dong licked his lips as he gazed at Sha Jingyu's unmatched beauty, his eyes revealed a flash of passion. Even though he might not be her rival, he wouldn't mind battling this beauty. Sha Jingyu stood still on the arena floor, not moving a single inch. Her shoulders were covered in snow, which turned her hair white. Finally, she moved. Her jade-like feet remained footed on her original spot, but her jade-like fingers waved slightly, a stream of vital energy lashing out. Ah! Lu Dong screamed in pain as he fell off the arena, defeated. Like a seasoned veteran, Sha Jingyu's eyes remained calm as she slowly lowered her finger. Swoosh. Ranked 7th, Zhang Shalwa, get in the arena. Sha Jingyu raised her finger. Ah! Ranked 6th, Yang Ling, get in the arena. Sha Jingyu raised her finger. Ah! Du Lin, ranked 5th, had fallen in the evil forest. Ranked 4th, Zhang Qian. Zhang Qian was level 7 upper tier, only one step away from becoming a level 8 expert. Flying into the arena, Zhang Qian stood with her hands clasped behind her back. She couldn't contain her envy of Sha Jingyu's beauty. Junior Sha has considerable strength. Senior will give you a handicap of 3 moves, Zhang Qian laughed. With her level 7 peak tier strength, she felt she was more than capable of overwhelming Sha Jingyu's level 7 upper tier. Sha Jingyu shook her head with an indifferent expression. No need, 1 move is enough to defeat you. Not only did she fail to insult Sha Jingyu, but she had been insulted instead. Zhang Qian was furious. Your strength is not adequate, you only know how to use your looks to seduce people. Rumors say Junior Suyu was seduced by you, and therefore willingly died for you, she said furiously. Sha Jingyu's body shook slightly, and her cold, elegant eyes lit up. She did not refute her, nor did she explain herself. She did not have an explanation to share. Suyu had, indeed, died for her. That fact would eternally haunt her. Zhang Qian silently gloated. Junior Suyu. To actually be manipulated by a woman to the extent that he lost his life. To put it nicely, he must have greatly valued relationships. To be blunt, he was just a simpleton, she chuckled. Chu Changjian frowned as he tried to contain his unhappiness. The death of a person is sacred. Zhang Qian had gone overboard by bringing up Su Yu. But the competition was sacred, he had no right to intervene. Even if he had the right, it was inconvenient for him to do so. Zhang Qian was the girlfriend of the ranked 8th holy disciple, Lu Qing. In the past, Zhang Qian was dispossessed and her talent was ordinary. However, she was pretty, and it just so happened Lu Qing harbored warped thoughts about her. To climb up the social ladder, she became Lu Qing's girlfriend. With Lu Qing supporting her, nobody dared upset her. Even Long Xiaoyu avoided her. In the arena, a cold light reflected in Sha Jingyu's snow-like eyes. Her rage and murderous intentions were made evident as she spoke lowly, "Those who dare insult him, die." This was the first time she spoke since entering the arena. If only she had been insulted, Sha Jingyu would not have cared at all. But, to insult Su Yu, this was Sha Jingyu's weakness, the single soft spot in her frozen exterior. A dragon has its reverse scales, their weak spots. They would kill anyone who dared touch them there. Such a violent expression had actually come from the quiet and tranquil celestial beauty, Sha Jingyu. Chu Changjian and Long Xiaoyu were shocked. Sha Jingyu, she had truly changed. The cold aura which surrounded her was unlike her once peaceful, gentle attitude. So what if I insult him? Kill me if you can, you vixen. Zhang Qian laughed coldly. Swoosh. Let senior see, other than your looks, what you have to be proud of. Seal of ridges and peaks. Zhang Qian's palms were like butterflies. As they flew overhead, 2 illusions which resembled mountain peaks appeared out of nowhere. Everyone could feel the oppressive pressure exerted by the mountains. Saint-level cultivation technique, stage 3. As expected from the ranked 4th disciple, she was a terrifying and strong opponent. Sha Jingyu's figure was as still as ice. Her eyes did not reflect the terrifying move. Instead, murder blurred her gaze. Those who dare insult him, die. Her cold, hoarse voice reverberated in the air. Swish. Sha Jingyu used her body, turning and enveloping her surroundings with the natural realm. Divine Gate Holy Decree. Chu Changjian was shocked. A holy decree, had Sha Jingyu actually achieved the level of the 10 holy disciples? The flowery finger. With her clear and cold eyes, Sha Jingyu raised her finger and pointed. Poof. Ah. Zhang Qian, who was coldly laughing, suddenly felt her chest rupture. A stream of blood spewed from her body. I admit defeat. Zhang Qian felt a chill creep down her spine. Had her finger struck half an inch deeper, her heart would have been crushed to pieces. Swoosh. Zhang Qian quickly retreated and she set off to jump from the arena. But she did not succeed. Though Zhang Qian had admitted defeat, Sha Jingyu continued pursuing and did not stop, despite being in the arena ring, which prohibited serious injuries and killing. Die, die, die. Any semblance of her past kindness was gone. She was a cold goddess, filled with murderous rage. Poof, poof, poof. Her 5 fingers pointed simultaneously, more than 10 holes appeared in Zhang Qian's body instantly. Nearly 70% of her blood spilled onto the arena floor. Even if she did not die, Zhang Qian would lose her strength. However, Sha Jingyu did not show any intentions of stopping. Instead, she attacked with the intention to kill. Even if she did not achieve her goal, she would not stop. HMPH. An indifferent voice could be heard from the Holy King's Great Hall. Sha Jingyu groaned as she spewed blood from her mouth. The Saint Great Holy Decree surrounding Sha Jingyu dissipated. Creak. The stone gates of the Holy King's Great Hall slowly opened. An elder, who sat cross-legged, stared at Sha Jingyu dully. The Holy King had appeared. Sha Jingyu's snow-like eyes looked over coldly. Sha Jingyu was not afraid and made eye contact with the Holy King, who even holy disciples dared not look at. You hate me. The Holy King's aged eyes had seen through all things, and what he saw in Sha Jingyu's eyes was hatred. Yes, Sha Jingyu did not conceal the hatred in her heart. For stopping you, the Holy King asked indifferently. As she shook her head, Sha Jingyu's snow-like eyes filled with rage. No. You caused Su Yu to die. If not for the Holy King's pressure, Su Yu would not have taken so many risks in the evil forest, he might still be alive. You want to kill me. The Holy King's old eyes remained as calm as ever. Yes, as long as I am alive, one day, I will take your life. No matter the cost. Sha Jingyu's eyes were resolute and sharp. Although she was small and unintimidating, the tone of voice in which she declared her intentions terrified thousands of warriors. The arena fell into an uproar before it dropped into a dead silence. Since ancient times, only one person ever threatened the Holy King, and she was named Sha Jingyu. I am partly responsible for his death. The Holy King did not fly into a fury as everyone expected, but instead, he glanced at the reduced number of prospective holy disciples. Deep within his eyes, there was sincere regret. You can hate me, kill me, do whatever you want, should the day come where you have the ability to do so. Slowly shifting his gaze away and closing his eyes, the Holy King announced indifferently, resume the match. Everyone was speechless. Sha Jingyu had violated the rules of the arena match and openly displayed her killing intent. The Holy King had, unexpectedly, decided to not pursue the matter. Perhaps this was the Holy King's apology to Sha Jingyu, perhaps he felt responsible for Su Yu's death. Sha Jingyu looked away and stared at the sky. Next. Swoosh. A figure flew onto the arena stage. It was Long Xiaoyu. Level 8 peak tier was not something that Sha Jingyu could hope to defeat. Jingyu, don't be like this. The dead cannot be revived, you need to take care of yourself. Long Xiaoyu did not bear to see Sha Jingyu like this. Sha Jingyu looked at her, her eyes slightly softening. But, her voice remained cold and hoarse, you don't understand. She had to fulfill Su Yu's final wish. To use her eyes and meet Xianer. To use her heart, to deliver his final words. Sha Jingyu was determined to use her life to fulfill his dying wish. Then let us begin. Long Xiaoyu sympathized with her, but would not give up her right to challenge the 10 holy disciples. Only the king of prospective holy disciples had the right to challenge the true holy disciples. Last year, she had failed. This year was her last chance. In the blink of an eye, Sha Jingyu took out 5 spirit elixirs. They were the spirit elixirs that Su Yu had given her before he died. Consuming all in one go, Sha Jingyu's cultivation base slowly increased. She prepared to achieve a breakthrough on the spot. Long Xiaoyu was slightly shocked, but nodded her head, I'll wait for you to achieve your breakthrough. No need, Sha Jingyu shook her head. Long Xiaoyu could not do anything. Even if Sha Jingyu achieved a breakthrough to level 7 peak tier, she would still be unmatched. In that case, Junior Sha, please watch out, Long Xiaoyu sighed. Just what I wanted. Swoosh. Long Xiaoyu's surroundings delved into nature. From afar, it appeared as if she was as natural as the skies and earth. Saint Great Holy Decree. Long Xiaoyu has actually comprehended the Saint Great Holy Decree. The masses were shocked at Long Xiaoyu's hidden skill. Compared to last year, Long Xiaoyu has improved significantly. Should she break through the shackles of her cultivation base, she may become one of the 10 great holy disciples, Chu Changjian secretly exclaimed. Chapter 85, The Dragon's Reverse Scales. Translator. Nioi Bo Studio Editor. Nioi Bo Studio. Chu Changjian was intimidated by Sha Jingyu's intense look. Slightly startled, he gave an affirmative nod. Yes, only the 10 great holy disciples will be brought along. Only the 10 great holy disciples would be brought along. Sha Jingyu filled with hope. I will participate in the storm competition. Sha Jingyu's clear eyes were determined. Chu Changjian slightly quivered. He could almost feel Sha Jingyu's hidden strength awaken and fill the room. Long Xiaoyu could not bear to watch. Jingyu, you have just recovered from a fatal injury, therefore not advisable for you to participate, she whispered. Sha Jingyu stepped outside of the house, raising her head as she gazed up at the snow-filled sky. Under the heavy snow, her pair of beautiful eyes watered. I have to go. That was Su Yu's last wish. To make the trip to Fenghuang Valley, and on his behalf, and tell Xian'er that he fought for her to the very end. Looking at her lonely figure, gradually covered by snow, Long Xiaoyu was at a loss. Sha Jingyu had lost her soul. The storm competition had finally arrived. The sanctuary would soon be dissolved, so this would be the last storm competition. The storm competition would be divided into 2 segments. The competition between the prospective holy disciples, and the individual rankings of the 10 great holy disciples. The venue would be in front of the Holy King's Great Hall. Sha Jingyu had braved the snow to reach the venue. Her eyes reflected the snowflakes which filled the skies. The snow-white beauty was incredibly alluring. But she appeared unreachable, like an ice sculpture, frozen in body and soul. Su Yu's tale was spread among the prospective holy disciples. Burying himself along with the Slayer King was both commendable and unfortunate. Sha Jingyu had gone against the Slayer King together with Su Yu. She was alone now, however, the only survivor. She had to take care of herself, now. Dong. The holy bell sounded once again. The battle of the prospective holy disciples was about to begin. The gates of the Holy King's Great Hall had not yet been opened, but nobody doubted whether the Holy King was watching everything. The competition of the prospective holy disciples utilized the arena system. There would be consecutive challenges. The one who defeated all would become king of prospective holy disciples. Chu Changjian would host of the matches. He casually grabbed a name off the list and his expression became perplexed. Sha Jingyu, come up the stage. Swoosh. She flew onto the stage agilely. The celestial beauty's unmatched elegance contrasted against the snowy background. Her ice-cold beauty and snow-like eyes made her appear inhuman. The challenger will be chosen according to last year's ranking, from bottom to top. After every victory, you may rest for an hour. Chu Changjian announced the rules. The first battle. The first contestant was the 101 ranked disciple, a level 5 upper tier. I admit defeat. The next battle. I admit defeat. Sha Jingyu's level 7 upper tier gave her an overwhelming lead, which caused the low-ranked people to all give up. Only the top 10 prospective holy disciples would challenge Sha Jingyu. Junior Jingyu, I cannot match you. I give up. The lowest-ranked senior sister Lu cupped her fists and retreated. Zhang Mingyi, ranked 9th, had fallen in the evil forest. Swoosh. Lu Dong, ranked 8th, was level 7 lower tier. I'll battle you. Lu Dong licked his lips as he gazed at Sha Jingyu's unmatched beauty, his eyes revealed a flash of passion. Even though he might not be her rival, he wouldn't mind battling this beauty. Sha Jingyu stood still on the arena floor, not moving a single inch. Her shoulders were covered in snow, which turned her hair white. Finally, she moved. Her jade-like feet remained footed on her original spot, but her jade-like fingers waved slightly, a stream of vital energy lashing out. Ah! Lu Dong screamed in pain as he fell off the arena, defeated. Like a seasoned veteran, Sha Jingyu's eyes remained calm as she slowly lowered her finger. Swoosh. Ranked 7th, Zhang Shalwa, get in the arena. Sha Jingyu raised her finger. Ah! Ranked 6th, Yang Ling, get in the arena. Sha Jingyu raised her finger. Ah! Du Lin, ranked 5th, had fallen in the evil forest. Ranked 4th, Zhang Qian. Zhang Qian was level 7 upper tier, only one step away from becoming a level 8 expert. Flying into the arena, Zhang Qian stood with her hands clasped behind her back. She couldn't contain her envy of Sha Jingyu's beauty. Junior Sha has considerable strength. Senior will give you a handicap of 3 moves, Zhang Qian laughed. With her level 7 peak tier strength, she felt she was more than capable of overwhelming Sha Jingyu's level 7 upper tier. Sha Jingyu shook her head with an indifferent expression, no need, 1 move is enough to defeat you. Not only did she fail to insult Sha Jingyu, but she had been insulted instead. Zhang Qian was furious. Your strength is not adequate, you only know how to use your looks to seduce people. Rumors say Junior Suyu was seduced by you, and therefore willingly died for you, she said furiously. Sha Jingyu's body shook slightly, and her cold, elegant eyes lit up. She did not refute her, nor did she explain herself. She did not have an explanation to share. Suyu had, indeed, died for her. That fact would eternally haunt her. Zhang Qian silently gloated. Junior Suyu. To actually be manipulated by a woman to the extent that he lost his life. To put it nicely, he must have greatly valued relationships. To be blunt, he was just a simpleton, she chuckled. Chu Changjian frowned as he tried to contain his unhappiness. The death of a person is sacred. Zhang Qian had gone overboard by bringing up Su Yu. But the competition was sacred, he had no right to intervene. Even if he had the right, it was inconvenient for him to do so. Zhang Qian was the girlfriend of the ranked 8th holy disciple, Lu Qing. In the past, Zhang Qian was dispossessed and her talent was ordinary. However, she was pretty, and it just so happened Lu Qing harbored warped thoughts about her. To climb up the social ladder, she became Lu Qing's girlfriend. With Lu Qing supporting her, nobody dared upset her. Even Long Xiaoyu avoided her. In the arena, a cold light reflected in Sha Jingyu's snow-like eyes. Her rage and murderous intentions were made evident as she spoke lowly, those who dare insult him, die. This was the first time she spoke since entering the arena. If only she had been insulted, Sha Jingyu would not have cared at all. But, to insult Su Yu, this was Sha Jingyu's weakness, the single soft spot in her frozen exterior. A dragon has its reverse scales, their weak spots. They would kill anyone who dared touch them there. Such a violent expression had actually come from the quiet and tranquil celestial beauty, Sha Jingyu. Chu Changjian and Long Xiaoyu were shocked. Sha Jingyu, she had truly changed. The cold aura which surrounded her was unlike her once peaceful, gentle attitude. So what if I insult him? Kill me if you can, you vixen. Zhang Qian laughed coldly. Swoosh. Let senior see, other than your looks, what you have to be proud of. Seal of ridges and peaks. Zhang Qian's palms were like butterflies. As they flew overhead, 2 illusions which resembled mountain peaks appeared out of nowhere. Everyone could feel the oppressive pressure exerted by the mountains. Saint-level cultivation technique, stage 3. As expected from the ranked 4th disciple, she was a terrifying and strong opponent. Sha Jingyu's figure was as still as ice. Her eyes did not reflect the terrifying move. Instead, murder blurred her gaze. Those who dare insult him, die. Her cold, hoarse voice reverberated in the air. Swish. Sha Jingyu used her body, turning and enveloping her surroundings with the natural realm. Divine Gate Holy Decree. Chu Changjian was shocked. A holy decree, had Sha Jingyu actually achieved the level of the 10 holy disciples? The flowery finger. With her clear and cold eyes, Sha Jingyu raised her finger and pointed. Poof. Ah. Zhang Qian, who was coldly laughing, suddenly felt her chest rupture. A stream of blood spewed from her body. I admit defeat. Zhang Qian felt a chill creep down her spine. Had her finger struck half an inch deeper, her heart would have been crushed to pieces. Swoosh. Zhang Qian quickly retreated and she set off to jump from the arena. But she did not succeed. Though Zhang Qian had admitted defeat, Sha Jingyu continued pursuing and did not stop, despite being in the arena ring, which prohibited serious injuries and killing. Die, die, die. Any semblance of her past kindness was gone. She was a cold goddess, filled with murderous rage. Poof, poof, poof. Her 5 fingers pointed simultaneously, more than 10 holes appeared in Zhang Qian's body instantly. Nearly 70% of her blood spilled onto the arena floor. Even if she did not die, Zhang Qian would lose her strength. However, Sha Jingyu did not show any intentions of stopping. Instead, she attacked with the intention to kill. Even if she did not achieve her goal, she would not stop. HMPH. An indifferent voice could be heard from the Holy King's Great Hall. Sha Jingyu groaned as she spewed blood from her mouth. The Saint Great Holy Decree surrounding Sha Jingyu dissipated. Creak. The stone gates of the Holy King's Great Hall slowly opened. An elder, who sat cross-legged, stared at Sha Jingyu dully. The Holy King had appeared. Sha Jingyu's snow-like eyes looked over coldly. Sha Jingyu was not afraid and made eye contact with the Holy King, who even holy disciples dared not look at. You hate me. The Holy King's aged eyes had seen through all things, and what he saw in Sha Jingyu's eyes was hatred. Yes, Sha Jingyu did not conceal the hatred in her heart. For stopping you, the Holy King asked indifferently. As she shook her head, Sha Jingyu's snow-like eyes filled with rage. No. You caused Su Yu to die. If not for the Holy King's pressure, Su Yu would not have taken so many risks in the evil forest, he might still be alive. You want to kill me. The Holy King's old eyes remained as calm as ever. Yes, as long as I am alive, one day, I will take your life. No matter the cost. Sha Jingyu's eyes were resolute and sharp. Although she was small and unintimidating, the tone of voice in which she declared her intentions terrified thousands of warriors. The arena fell into an uproar before it dropped into a dead silence. Since ancient times, only one person ever threatened the Holy King, and she was named Sha Jingyu. I am partly responsible for his death. The Holy King did not fly into a fury as everyone expected, but instead, he glanced at the reduced number of prospective holy disciples. Deep within his eyes, there was sincere regret. You can hate me, kill me, do whatever you want, should the day come where you have the ability to do so. Slowly shifting his gaze away and closing his eyes, the Holy King announced indifferently, resume the match. Everyone was speechless. Sha Jingyu had violated the rules of the arena match and openly displayed her killing intent. The Holy King had, unexpectedly, decided to not pursue the matter. Perhaps this was the Holy King's apology to Sha Jingyu, perhaps he felt responsible for Su Yu's death. Sha Jingyu looked away and stared at the sky. Next. Swoosh. A figure flew onto the arena stage. It was Long Xiaoyu. Level 8 peak tier was not something that Sha Jingyu could hope to defeat. Jingyu, don't be like this. The dead cannot be revived, you need to take care of yourself. Long Xiaoyu did not bear to see Sha Jingyu like this. Sha Jingyu looked at her, her eyes slightly softening. But, her voice remained cold and hoarse, you don't understand. She had to fulfill Su Yu's final wish. To use her eyes and meet Xianer. To use her heart, to deliver his final words. Sha Jingyu was determined to use her life to fulfill his dying wish. Then let us begin. Long Xiaoyu sympathized with her, but would not give up her right to challenge the 10 holy disciples. Only the king of prospective holy disciples had the right to challenge the true holy disciples. Last year, she had failed. This year was her last chance. In the blink of an eye, Sha Jingyu took out 5 spirit elixirs. They were the spirit elixirs that Su Yu had given her before he died. Consuming all in one go, Sha Jingyu's cultivation base slowly increased. She prepared to achieve a breakthrough on the spot. Long Xiaoyu was slightly shocked, but nodded her head, I'll wait for you to achieve your breakthrough. No need, Sha Jingyu shook her head. Long Xiaoyu could not do anything. Even if Sha Jingyu achieved a breakthrough to level 7 peak tier, she would still be unmatched. In that case, Junior Sha, please watch out, Long Xiaoyu sighed. Just what I wanted. Swoosh. Long Xiaoyu's surroundings delved into nature. From afar, it appeared as if she was as natural as the skies and earth. Saint Great Holy Decree. Long Xiaoyu has actually comprehended the Saint Great Holy Decree. The masses were shocked at Long Xiaoyu's hidden skill. Compared to last year, Long Xiaoyu has improved significantly. Should she break through the shackles of her cultivation base, she may become one of the 10 great holy disciples, Chu Changjian secretly exclaimed. Sha Jingyu remained unfazed as she also exhibited her Saint Great Holy Decree. The flowery finger. As she pointed her jade-like finger, all liquid heeded her call. Long Xiaoyu merely snorted, as her blood refused Sha Jingyu's call. As both were using saint-grade holy decrees, Sha Jingyu could not do much to Long Xiaoyu. As Long Xiaoyu closed in with her overwhelming advantage, Sha Jingyu felt danger lurking all around her. Kaboom! The two slim figures could only be glimpsed briefly as they battled. One was an absolute beauty and the other one displayed grace. Everyone who viewed their battle was filled with admiration. Sha Jingyu was at a slight disadvantage, but it was still a close fight. For sparring in the arena ring, should there be no clear victor after 100 moves, the one who holds the advantage will be crowned the victor, Chu Changjian announced. Regardless of status, all in attendance were highly impressed. Sha Jingyu was merely a newbie, and yet she could engage in a battle with the surely future king of prospective holy disciples, Long Xiaoyu, for so long. Her vast improvement in skill had shocked the people present. Hearing Chu Changjian's announcement, Long Xiaoyu turned cold. "Sorry Jingyu, I have to challenge the holy disciples," she said. Prior to this, she had held back, hoping she wouldn't have to hurt Sha Jingyu. Now, to secure her victory, she would have to go all out. Sha Jingyu glared as she took a few steps backward. "I have my reasons for having to win at all costs. Sorry, Senior Long." Swoosh. At that moment, with the help of the spirit elixir's powers, Sha Jingyu achieved her breakthrough to level 7 peak tier. For a moment, Long Xiaoyu felt a strong pressure. Gritting her teeth, she unleashed her full powers. 7-star steps. Clang. Long Xiaoyu extended her jade-like foot and moved her feet in a soft rhythm. Every step corresponded to the Big Dipper constellation. Every step she took created a dazzling melody. It was an extremely rare sound attack. Saint-level cultivation technique, top class. The crowd gasped. Chu Changjian was impressed. Be it a holy decree or a cultivation technique, Long Xiaoyu had achieved the standards of the 10 holy disciples. Only her cultivation level was not on par. Long Xiaoyu, having gone all out, drastically increased her fighting prowess. Sha Jingyu remained calm and stood still. Reverie of dewdrops. Whispering in a hoarse voice, Sha Jingyu raised her jade-like hands and lightly gestured in Long Xiaoyu's direction. Kaboom! Long Xiaoyu's facial expression suddenly changed, revealing immense pain. The people turned and saw, to their surprise, the snowflakes and moisture in the air surrounding Long Xiaoyu had enveloped her in a dense fog. A visible layer of water appeared all around Long Xiaoyu's body. In an instant, as though she had been plunged into deep water, Long Xiaoyu could not breathe. No matter how much Long Xiaoyu tried to use her vital energy, she was unable to dispel the water around her. As time passed, it became harder to bear. Her face slowly flushed red as she gradually lost the strength to resist. With a slight gesture, the ball of water bubbles which enveloped Long Xiaoyu threw her from the arena. The audience was dead silent. Deity-level cultivation technique, upper class. A shuddering voice emerged from within the masses. The masses looked up at Sha Jingyu, all of them felt a slight tingling in their scalp. Among the 3 deity-level cultivation techniques inside the sanctuary divine vault, Sha Jingyu had actually comprehended reverie of dewdrops to the upper realm. The Holy King's indifferent eyes lit up, which was a rare occurrence. Within the sanctuary, there was only one person who actually comprehended a deity-level cultivation technique, and that was the eldest disciple, Zhao Guang. However, Sha Jingyu had also comprehended it. Long Xiaoyu was deeply shocked. The whole time they were in the evil forest, she had never seen Sha Jingyu in action. She had always felt that Sha Jingyu over-relied on Suyu's puppets. But in actuality, Sha Jingyu's strength was far beyond the level 8 lower-tier puppets. The amazing battle had shocked the entire audience. Sha Jingyu was unquestionably the king of prospective holy disciples. It was time for the 10 holy disciples, ranking matches. This was the portion that the Holy King valued the most. The ranking battles of the 10 holy disciples were interesting and brilliant. Every holy disciple had a minimum level 9 cultivation base. The splendid sparring matches were eye-opening for the prospective holy disciples, who were filled with admiration for their seniors. At last, the final ranked battle ended. Zhao Guang obtained the glorious title of the King of the Holy Disciples. No opponent could withstand any more than 10 of his moves. Zhao Guang, who guaranteed victory with 10 moves, was the head genius of the entire sanctuary. Many people looked up to his unparalleled presence. The remaining rankings had slightly changed, especially the lower ranks. Chu Changjian had performed outstandingly and rose from rank 10 to rank 7. Lu Qing, once ranked 8th, dropped to rank 10. With the imminent dissolution of the sanctuary, the apprehensive disciples had pushed themselves to different degrees of improvement throughout the month. With that, another segment of the storm competition had ended. Only one segment remained, the challenge match. The king of the prospective holy disciples had a chance to challenge the holy disciples. According to the rules, as long as he or she defeated the lowest ranking holy disciple, he or she may replace that particular holy disciple. Sha Jingyu would have to defeat Lu Qing to become a holy disciple and earn the chance to accompany the holy king to Fenghuang Valley. Chu Changjian secretly sighed. Sha Jingyu's cultivation base was overwhelmingly outclassed, her chances of winning were slim. The challenge match, begin. Chu Changjian announced. Swoosh. Sha Jingyu flew onto the arena stage and stood silently. Beside Lu Qing was the pale-faced Zhang Qian. Staring at Sha Jingyu, her eyes harbored deep anger. Brother Qing, teach this vixen a lesson on my behalf. Lu Qing raised his head and saw a celestial figure. Standing in the snow, she charmed all those who chanced upon her. A warm feeling filled his mind. As he slowly nodded, Lu Qing flew onto the arena stage. With a grin on his face, Lu Qing consoled Sha Jingyu. Junior Sha, the dead cannot be revived, please restrain your grief. Sha Jingyu's eyes remained cold, she pretended as if she had not heard him. Senior knows that Junior Sha and Junior Su had deep ties, but I hope that Junior Sha can get over it. If you have any matters of the heart, you may approach me. What Junior Su could do, I can also do, Lu Qing continued. The audience was shocked. Lu Qing was a famous playboy, but nobody expected him to target Sha Jingyu, making use of her grief from losing Su Yu. Still, his attempt was in vain. Zhang Qian's face turned green with jealousy. Sha Jingyu remained cold, though her eyes revealed deep disgust. Don't compare yourself with Su Yu, you will only taint his name. Lu Qing always thought highly of his own looks, with his tall figure and exceptional strength, he always had his way with the ladies. Teenage girls like Sha Jingyu especially loved him, especially when they were emotionally distraught. Seducing Sha Jingyu should have been very easy for him. He had not expected Sha Jingyu would ridicule him publicly. I apologize if I crossed any lines. Let us begin the sparring match. Lu Qing's expression appeared apologetic, but deep in his eyes, there was a cold hatred. He had hesitated in starting the match, and now, he had enraged his opponent. He originally had a tender heart for the opposite sex and had been willing to start off easy on her. He had not expected Sha Jingyu to reject him. He, therefore, could not be blamed for his harsh actions. East coming Great River. Lu Qing attacked. It was an impressive saint-level cultivation technique, top realm. His palm's force was equal to a raging river. Sha Jingyu's pure eyes turned serious, she knew his attack would be hard to match. However, her eyes still maintained a dignified gaze. Reverie of dewdrops. A dense water bubble surrounded Lu Qing, suffocating him. Lu Qing's face turned red and pained. But, he managed. With his east coming great river, an endless forth of water gushed forward, forcefully destroying the water bubble. Poof! Sha Jingyu was pushed back. Blood spewed from her mouth as she took a massive strike to her torso. But, she did not retreat. East coming great river. Reverie of dewdrops. Poof! At a great disadvantage in terms of cultivation base, it was difficult for Sha Jingyu to come out ahead. After 10 moves, her chest was stained red. The snow gathered onto her body, soaking her clothes and contrasting with her bloodstains. She had sustained heavy damage. Chu Changjian could not bear to see any more. Junior Sha, just admit defeat. You cannot win. I cannot lose. I cannot lose. Sha Jingyu's beautiful eyes welled up with tears. She had to fulfill Su Yu's dying wish, he had trusted her alone. She had to fulfill it. Even if she died trying. The audience was deeply touched. Despite knowing that she had no chance of success, she remained persistent. Lu Qing had long since passed his ridiculing phase, he was awestruck. He was frightened by Sha Jingyu's fearless determination. Seeing Sha Jingyu's fearless attack, Lu Qing reacted instantly. East coming Great River, Lu Qing put everything he had into this attack. Kaboom! Poof! Sha Jingyu was struck mid-air. Blood spewed out of her mouth and injuries as she flew backward, off the arena. The crowd was silent. Though she had no chance, they still could not believe she had lost. As she laid on the ground, Sha Jingyu's heart shattered. She had failed to fulfill Su Yu's dying wish. Laughing pathetically, the spirit in Sha Jingyu's eyes was extinguished. Chu Changjian felt a deep pity for her. He was about to extend his hand to hold Sha Jingyu up when the crowd gasped. "Quick! What is that in the sky?" someone shouted in astonishment. The crowd fixated their eyes on the unknown object. The only sight that they could make out was a ball of purple fire. Shockingly, the purple fire had traveled at incredible speeds. It was approaching at a mile a minute, as if it were teleporting through space and time. The fire quickly came into focus. It was no fire at all, but a purple-clothed figure. With his hands clasped behind his back, the figure appeared as if he had been present in the distance all along, unmoving. But, with every blink of an eye, he mysteriously moved a considerable distance closer, leaving behind a chain of blurred purple afterimages. Is that a person, or a ghost? The audience was shocked. For someone to move so fast, they couldn't comprehend it. The Holy King raised his head, slightly bewildered. It's him. Not good. He's heading towards us. The audience was shocked as they shifted defensively. Chu Changjian stood as a vanguard, blocking the forefront upon seeing the purple figure approach at an inhuman speeds. Hold it there. Right as Chu Changjian issued his warning, as everyone prepared themselves for a battle, a bleak sigh came from behind them. Jingyu. Chu Changjian's whole body shuddered. The people present felt a chill down their spines. Turning around, they discovered, to their astonishment, that the figure had appeared behind them and had intercepted Sha Jingyu before retreating back. The purple figure before them was actually just an illusion. The real purple-robed figure had long since arrived behind them. Who could have displayed such an inhuman movement? Everyone looked over at the purple-robed youth. He had a lean figure and good looks, but his eyes remained closed. That face was definitely Su Yu. However, the Su Yu before them had a silvery white hair to his waist, unlike the black hair he used to have. Exuding an aura of gentleness and grace, accompanied with his purple clothes, he gave off a mysterious, yet noble aura. It was as though Su Yu had come from a palace of the gods. The difference in his appearance was so great that he appeared to be another person entirely, especially with that head full of silver hair. Sha Jingyu felt a familiar chest pressed against her cheek, and her ears heard a familiar voice. Her body shuddered slightly as she opened her eyes, seeing a familiar face. Su Yu. Sha Jingyu could not believe her eyes. She was in shock. She wondered wildly if he was a hallucination, conjured by blood loss. Su Yu was alive. Jingyu, sorry for being late. A soft, bleak sigh pulled Sha Jingyu back to reality. Su Yu. A sad cry could be heard throughout the entire sanctuary. Sha Jingyu shed tears of happiness as she extended her pale arm, hugging the purple-robed man tightly. She squeezed him so tightly that her own lungs were crushed. But, she refused to loosen her grip, instead holding him tighter, afraid he may disappear. At that moment, Sha Jingyu forgot heaven and earth. She forgot about space and time, about the arena stage, and she forgot herself. Her heart was filled with Su Yu, whom she had once lost. Sha Jingyu tilted back her head and looked at Su Yu. She shed tears of joy, choking as she cried. The joy in her heart was indescribable. Any and all words would pale in comparison. Finally, the audience came to their senses. The silver-haired, purple-clothed person was actually Su Yu, who should have been buried underneath several feet of gravel. Did he survive the catastrophe, or had he come back from death? It was no wonder that those present would have such a preposterous thought as resurrection. This Su Yu seemed worlds apart from the Su Yu they had once known. Sha Jingyu shrugged, smiling as tears rolled down her cheeks. Her pair of soulless eyes had been reinvigorated. After Sha Jingyu's heart had completely settled down, she inspected Su Yu. His cheeks had slimmed down considerably. She could imagine the amount of pain and suffering Su Yu had endured, buried under gravel for half a month. The greatest change was, however, Su Yu's long hair. The one silky black hair was now a pure silver white. With his purple clothes and silver hair, he gave off a noble aura. "Brother Yu, your hair. And your eyes." Sha Jingyu realized Su Yu had yet to open his eyes. His pair of vast and starry eyes were, at that moment, tightly shut. Were his eyes destroyed when the mountain collapsed? Although Su Yu's eyes were closed, he still reacted to his surroundings as if he could see. With his eyes shut, Su Yu smiled. "It is inconvenient for me to open my eyes. There is no problem with them. As for my hair." With a faded smile and sense of relief, Su Yu explained his hair's change. "A trace of toxin remained inside my body. Although I purged it, its side effects were unavoidable. It would be hard to revert my hair back." That day, the Slayer King had grabbed a hold of Su Yu's ankles with his hands, which were tainted with immense toxins. A trace of those toxins remained in Su Yu and had turned his hair silvery white over the course of half a month. Caressing Su Yu's silver hair, Sha Jingyu sighed apologetically. "Sorry, brother Yu. I was unable to rescue you earlier." Su Yu smiled gratefully. "No Jingyu, you saved my life." That day, when the gigantic boulders had crashed down, the mountains collapsed and the earth quaked. The catastrophe had been imminent. Right as Su Yu was about to be buried, he discovered the trap pit which he had set up previously. Desperate, Su Yu utilized his entwined dragon silk and escaped into the pit. A gigantic boulder had then dropped on top of the pit, blocking the opening of the hole and trapping Su Yu. But, the boulder also sealed the pit from any gravel, saving Su Yu from being buried alive. But there was still too much gravel on top of the boulder to escape. Had Su Yu recklessly moved that gigantic boulder, it would have caused the gravel on top to slide down, burying him alive. It was Sha Jingyu who had moved away most of the gravel over the course of 5 days and 5 nights, without a single wink of rest. Su Yu then had the chance to climb out, bit by bit. If not for Sha Jingyu's determination, Su Yu would have been buried alive. During the 2 weeks, Su Yu had relied on drinking melted snow to quench his thirst, living off the moss growing on the stones. "Brother Yu." Sha Jingyu's head was buried deep in Su Yu's chest, pained as she heard how much Su Yu had suffered. Under those harsh conditions, Su Yu had somehow managed to survive. Everyone present gasped in shock. Although Su Yu was extremely lucky, it was Sha Jingyu's persistence which saved him. Chu Changjian was extremely happy but suddenly remembered his purpose. As he looked at Lu Qing, he announced reluctantly, "Sha Jingyu has lost the challenge match. The match has ended." Ended. Su Yu's purple clothes blurred as he disappeared. Everyone was shocked to discover that, on the arena stage, a purple-clothed silver-haired person had appeared out of nowhere. His inhumane figure shocked everyone. Lu Qing, who was about to make his way off the arena stage, raised his eyebrows. "What? Do you wish to challenge me?" The people present were shocked. Su Yu had just returned, and now he wanted to challenge a holy disciple. A look of anticipation appeared on everyone's faces. They were curious to see how much had Su Yu's strength had improved. Su Yu slightly shook his head and replied, "No." The audience was shocked. "Then what do you want?" Lu Qing secretly heaved a sigh of relief. Su Yu was an unorthodox and mysterious opponent who he would rather not cross fists with. In addition, he had just bullied and insulted Sha Jingyu, and could not help but feel guilty. Su Yu's eyes remained closed. Su Yu's purple clothes and silver hair, amidst the heavy snow, made him look like a handsome deity. "I'm here not to challenge you, but to teach you a lesson in human nature." The audience was dumbfounded. When teaching a level 9 lower tier, even a level 9 upper tier would not be so brazen and arrogant as to say that. It was unlike Su Yu. Unless his personality had undergone a big change as a result of the catastrophe. Sha Jingyu's eyes were filled with bewilderment. The Su Yu from her memories was not a proud person. Why then did he say such things? Lu Qing laughed mockingly. "Teach me the basics of humanity. With your qualifications. I've suffered enough to earn my right to teach you." Go on, you may have the first move, Su Yu said indifferently, his hands clasped behind his back. All right, you brought this upon yourself. Lu Qing flew into a fury after being challenged by Su Yu. If Lu Qing had backed off, how would he ever be able to face anyone again? East coming great river. It was like a river had gushed forward, destroying everything that stood in its way. The thunderous sound was alarming, the attack's power was unparalleled. A gust of strong wind blew past Su Yu's purple clothes. His silver hair also danced along with the gust of wind. With his eyes shut, Su Yu stood still with his hands clasped behind his back. Crack! Lu Qing's immensely strong blow had stopped 3 inches before Su Yu's body, frozen in place. A thick ice wall suddenly appeared, forcefully blocking Lu Qing's fists. How is it possible? Lu Qing was shocked beyond words. From the start, Su Yu had not lifted a single finger, yet, he had blocked such a strong attack. I don't believe it. Lu Qing was furious as he continued to attack consecutively. Whenever his fist struck, a wall of cold ice would appear with a flash of a white light, blocking both of his fists. Su Yu had not moved a single inch. The audience was dead silent. In their eyes, Lu Qing had done everything he could. He could do nothing to Su Yu, who merely stood there. Su Yu had not made any moves at all. Lu Qing had dished out over 10 attacks, and Su Yu remained completely unscathed. His head was filled with shock. With his heart thumping madly, he asked, Are you a human or a ghost? Since you seem done attacking, it's my turn. Su Yu said lightly, with his eyes shut. Lu Qing's facial expression instantly changed. Swoosh! Lu Qing turned around and was about to walk off the arena stage, as he no longer wished to fight. I admit, he started, intending to forfeit. Peok, peok, peok. Suddenly, a purple light instantly appeared in front of him. Lu Qing only managed to catch a glimpse of the silver-haired figure, before he was slapped 3 times. The clear and crisp sound of 3 consecutive slaps echoed throughout the entire arena. These 3 slaps are to educate you, to teach you to not overestimate yourself, understand your place, you insignificant being, Su Yu said indifferently. Lu Qing's cheeks turned bright red and burned. He could not believe he had just been slapped. Su Yu, you insult me. Peok, peok, peok. Unable to even see Su Yu clearly, Lu Qing took another 3 slaps to his cheeks. These 3 slaps are meant to educate you, to teach you to not take advantage of your status and bully the weak. When you insult other people, be prepared for others to insult you back. Hearing Su Yu's words, Lu Qing was furious. However, he knew that he was no match for Su Yu. I admit, Lu Qing started again hurriedly. Peok, peok, peok. Su Yu did not give him a chance to finish his sentence. Instead, he gave him another 3 slaps. The last 3 slaps are to teach you how to have a discerning eye, so you can separate who can you bully, and who you cannot. I have finished my lessons. You may leave. With the flick of a finger, Lu Qing rolled off the arena stage. Everyone looked up at Su Yu, who stood on the arena stage, with shock. The ranked 10th holy disciple, a level 9 lower tier, was merely a punching bag against Su Yu. Lu Qing had no chance to retaliate. Lu Qing's cheeks were swollen red, his flesh and blood indistinguishable. His eyes contained deep-rooted hatred for Su Yu. The pain was a small issue, but to be slapped and educated in front of the masses. The loss of face was Lu Qing's biggest issue. Brother Kun. Covering his embarrassed face, Lu Qing escaped to another holy disciple and pleaded, You have to avenge me. Su Yu has gone overboard. The brother Kun he referred to was the ranked 5th holy disciple, Lu Kun. His strength was level 9 upper tier. With a lean figure and sharp expression, paired with his short hair and a strong expression, he exuded a cold aura. Lu Kun's eyes revealed disdain as he coldly reprimanded, He who insults others will be insulted by others. You were the one who insulted his female partner first. Not only that, but your skills were beneath him. What right do you have to complain about being insulted by Su Yu? If you want to blame someone, blame yourself for being useless. Lu Qing's bright red cheeks paled. He and Lu Kun had come from the same country, their relationship had always been relatively good. He did not expect Lu Kun would insult him as well. However, for a newbie to attempt to lecture a holy disciple, such arrogance cannot be tolerated. Lu Kun coldly grunted as he flew onto the arena stage. Swoosh. As he stood firmly on the arena stage, Lu Kun grunted with a pair of cold eyes, "Before you educate others, you have to be prepared to be educated yourself. One should not overestimate his own abilities. This time, it is my turn to teach you." Even though Lu Kun had a level 9 upper tier cultivation base, Suyu merely nodded his head calmly. "You are no match for me, step down," he said indifferently. "Preposterous. Open up your eyes and let me see how arrogant you can get." Lu Kun shouted, enraged. "You are not even significant enough to justify opening my eyes." Suyu calmly replied. "Ha ha. Suyu. I must teach you a lesson, how to be humble." Lu Kun was extremely angry, to actually be told he was not even worthy of Suyu opening his eyes. Suyu could not help but shake his head. He had his own reasons for not opening his eyes. After surviving such a perilous situation, many changes had occurred in his body, some had affected his eyes. He could no longer open them without good cause. "Kneel down and accept your punishment," Lu Kun roared. Swoosh. Lu Kun quickly moved his feet, his figure quick as lightning as he launched an attack toward Suyu. At the peripheral of the sanctuary, a person's figure flew along quickly. The fiery jade pendant in his hands gave off a red light as he traveled, like a fire phoenix from the sky. A messenger from Fenghuang Valley. Lu Kun squinted in surprise, his body froze mid-attack. On the Shenyu continent, Fenghuang Empire's Fenghuang Valley and the Alliance of the Nine Empires Sanctuary were both exceptional places. Rumors were that the master of Fenghuang Valley was a holy king. Alongside with the sanctuary's holy king, she was one out of only 2 holy kings in the entire continent. The holy king's old eyes lit up as he slowly rose from his cross-legged sitting position and walked out of the holy king's great hall. Staring at the fire phoenix and its figure in the distance, the holy king lightly sighed, "This day has finally come. I have waited for far too long." Swoosh. The figure drew close at an alarming speed. They were around the age of 20 years old. With a handsome face and graceful features, his looks were extraordinary. He was also level 9 upper tier, which made everyone nervous. He flew onto the arena stage gracefully and looked at the holy king in the distance. He cupped his hands respectfully. "Fenghuang Valley's Zan Feiyun has come to pay a visit to the holy king, under the orders of the valley master." The holy king remained indifferent. "What business do you have with me? Speak." "Neither humble nor haughty," Zan Feiyun calmly replied. "On behalf of the valley master, she has instructed for you to move quickly, as she will not wait for you if you are late." What a message! Such rudeness toward the holy king. The master of Fenghuang Valley was too arrogant. The holy king's eyes were cold as he shot a piercing gaze at Zan Feiyun. "Go back and tell her I won't leave the fight of the century up to chance." "Yes, I will definitely let her know," Zan Feiyun said respectfully, as he slowly turned his back and was about to leave. "Stop it right there." Lu Kun shot him a cold look. Zan Feiyun's footsteps faltered before he turned around. "What matters do you have with me?" he asked condescendingly. Lu Kun's face turned ice cold. "You just casually waltz in and out of our sanctuary. Do you think this is your Fenghuang Valley? What do you want to do then?" Zan Feiyun asked. He looked slightly bored, his hands clasped behind his back. Lu Kun's eyes burned with fury. "I want to see if Fenghuang Valley people's skills match up to the size of their arrogance." All the 10 holy disciples observed in silence. Fenghuang Valley had gone too far. They had traveled a long distance just to tell the holy king that they would not wait for him, should he be late. That was blatant disrespect toward the holy king. Zan Feiyun's and his arrogant attitude needed to be taught a lesson. "With your skills, you are no match for me," Zan Feiyun shook his head lightly as he replied in disdain. "Whether I am a match for you or not, we will know after we fight." "Here I come," Lu Kun shouted. "Rise and fall of mountains and seas." Lu Kun shouted as he was enveloped in an aura of saint-grade holy decree. Crash. Everyone heard the sound of the raging ocean waves, powerful enough to flood the mountains. The attack's scale was so big and its strength was so great that it shook everyone to the core. Poof. The prospective holy disciples close to the edge of the arena stage flew backward as blood spewed from their mouths. Lu Qing was horrified, his face pale. Lu Kun's holy decree was so strong, he was unmatched among the holy disciples. Only the top 3 holy disciples could even compete with Lu Kun's holy decree. Boom! A force, strong enough to destroy mountains and seas, charged towards Zhang Feiyun. However, even when faced with such a terrifying force, Zhang Feiyun remained calm as ever. Merely, like this, he taunted. Dense willows, bright flowers. Swoosh. Zhang Feiyun's figure blurred into the shadows, flickering and difficult to catch. The immense force, as if it had been pressurized in midair, could not make Zhang Feiyun budge a single inch. The people present were flabbergasted. This is saint-grade holy decree. No, this is something stronger than a saint-grade holy decree. Merely a saint-grade holy decree and you dare to be so arrogant. You are merely making a fool out of yourself. Zhang Feiyun said darkly. Lu Kun was extremely shocked. What type of holy decree did his opponent possess? It was as if he was bombarded by the shadows. Without giving Lu Kun time to recover from his shock, Zhang Feiyun strode over casually, as if he were strolling through a park. Yet, his speed was extremely fast. In the blink of an eye, he managed to close in. Mountain rivers burying fists. Zhang Feiyun shot out a fist. His fist was so mighty it seemed as though it could reverse the current of a raging river and level mountains. It was as if thousands of miles of mountain rivers were consolidated into that one fist. Lu Kun took a direct hit. He felt there was no hiding place on earth that could shield one from that attack. Earth obliterating palm. Lu Kun bit his teeth and attacked daringly. As his palm extended, the air shifted and the earth trembled. It was as though that palm could obliterate heaven and earth, causing the earth to crack in 4 directions. One fist and one palm collided. Kaboom! Poof! Thud, thud, thud. Lu Kun took a few steps backward as he spewed out a mouth of blood. He looked shocked. He had actually been defeated in only 2 moves. Both were level 9 upper tier, yet the difference in combat power was astonishing. Everyone gasped in astonishment. The Holy King's aged eyes were serious. Upon using only 2 moves to defeat his enemy, Zhang Feiyun laughed mockingly, utterly fragile. Lu Kun's face flushed with rage, and he shouted with blood in his mouth, frog living under a well. Such arrogance. My sanctuary also has a level 9 upper tier holy disciples that can defeat me in 2 moves. She is the ranked 3rd, senior Wang Jing. For Fenghuang Valley's people to be so arrogant, aren't you afraid of being a laughingstock? Zhang Feiyun's strength likely put him in the top rankings of Fenghuang Valley. To be so willfully arrogant, it was difficult for anyone to believe he was a good person. Unexpectedly, Zhang Feiyun laughed mockingly, oh. A frog living under a well. Do you know what my ranking is in Fenghuang Valley? Lu Kun's face turned stiff. Faced with Zhang Feiyun's mocking, Lu Kun could not help but become serious. Perhaps, Fenghuang Valley's strength was a notch stronger than the sanctuaries. However, both were nurtured by holy kings. Admittedly, differences in strengths were inevitable, but they should not be too great. Hehe, unless you mean to tell me in Fenghuang Valley you are not even in the top 5% of warriors. Lu Kun laughed coldly. Zhang Feiyun's ability was so strong, it was likely he was ranked 4th or 5th. Had he been in the sanctuaries, he could have contended for the top 3 spots. Zhang Feiyun snickered, top 5. You sanctuary disciples are the true frogs living under the well. I am merely ranked 10th in Fenghuang Valley. What? Ranked 10th? Everyone was flabbergasted. Strength like that would have placed him in the sanctuary's top 3, only ranked 10th in Fenghuang Valley. If Zhang Feiyun was not lying, how terrifying was Fenghuang Valley's ability? Sanctuary disciples were all shaken to the core. To be so strong at rank 10, what kind of gifted genius was ranked 1st? The Holy King's eyes remained calm. After a short moment of silence, the Holy King announced lightly, I will only bring the top 5 holy disciples with me to Fenghuang Valley, the rest would serve no purpose in going. The 10 holy disciples were shocked. Zhang Feiyun's appearance had actually made the Holy King change his mind. The holy disciples were greatly shaken, especially those ranked 6th to 10th. Their expressions changed immensely. If they were to be unable to follow the Holy King, then they would be dismissed along with the prospective holy disciples. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. In a split second, all 5 holy disciples all looked toward Lu Kun, who was ranked 5th. According to the rules of the holy disciples, challenge, one may advance in rank by taking the spot of the person he defeats. Seeing it was their only chance to follow the Holy King, they were not afraid to display their slight inadequacies at the moment. Senior Lu, I challenge you. The holy disciples who dared not challenge Lu Kun in the past now all wanted to challenge him. The Holy King silently acknowledged their challenges. However, an indifferent voice was heard from the arena stage. Seniors, have you all forgotten I am still on the arena stage? The 5 holy disciples then realized that Lu Kun and Su Yu's battle had yet to begin. After being interrupted midway by Zan Feiyun, according to tradition, it was Su Yu's right to challenge him first. Lu Kun wiped away the traces of blood on his lips and re-entered the arena stage. His gaze was piercing. Su Yu. After seeing my battle, you still have the courage to challenge me. I am impressed. Although he had lost, nobody questioned Lu Kun's immense strength. Su Yu's closed eyes still had yet to see Lu Kun. Senior Lu, you are mistaken. The person I wish to challenge is not you. But him. Su Yu stood with his hands clasped behind his back as he casually took a step to face Zan Feiyun. What? Su Yu's target was actually Zan Feiyun. He was strong enough to rank 2nd or 3rd at the sanctuary. Zan Feiyun shot Su Yu a cold look and forced out a smile. Oh. You are Shauner's fiancé, Su Yu. Along the way, he had been gathering information and had easily found out that the famous Su Yu had entered the sanctuary. As a disciple of sanctuary, Zan Feiyun did not dare to openly kill Su Yu. This matter would require Fenghuang Valley's master to settle. Hearing Shauner's name, Su Yu was shaken to the core. As expected, Shauner was indeed in Fenghuang Valley. Was she doing well? Had they taken good care of her, or had she been bullied? In an instant, his mind was filled with Shauner's petite figure. He wished he could immediately head towards Fenghuang Valley and meet Shauner. You want to battle me? Su Yu felt a dense animosity from Zan Feiyun. Zan Feiyun snorted, I hoped you would. A blind person has no rights to be Shauner's partner. Swoosh. Zan Feiyun took a step forward. Out of respect for Shauner, how about I allow you to have a handicap of 3 moves? Seeing that Shauner and I have an unusually close relationship. His words contained blatant insult, insinuating Su Yu needed Shauner to protect him. No need. You may use your full strength, while you still have the chance to attack at all, Su Yu said calmly, as placid as a winter lake. Still, this sentence caused a huge uproar. Everyone was extremely shocked. Su Yu's words meant that Zan Feiyun would not even have the chance to use his moves. Even the Holy King's aged eyes seemed bewildered. Long Xiaoyu guessed that Su Yu was planning to make use of traps and outwit his opponent. Having seen Su Yu's method of killing the Slayer King, Long Xiaoyu did not underestimate Su Yu's ability to plot and think ahead. Zan Feiyun was shocked. He had not expected that Su Yu would utter such preposterous words. Zan Feiyun regained his senses and chuckled while shaking his head. I originally thought Shauner's fiancé, despite being of common birth, would still be a man of talent. But I didn't expect that, besides your eyes, your heart too would be blind. How pitiful, to actually say such foolish words. Zan Feiyun's expression gradually turned cold as he shook his head. I feel unjust on behalf of Shauner, to be engaged to such an ignorant person. Should she follow you in the future, she will definitely be implicated and suffer. Su Yu stood calmly without any sadness or anger. He lightly shook his head. I gave you a chance to use your moves, yet you wasted it on idle talk. Are all Fenghuang Valley's people so detestable? Zan Feiyun's words had been treated like thin air, ignored by Su Yu. Zan Feiyun was angry at Su Yu's complete disregard, his cheeks turned ice cold. HMPH. Who do you think you are? On behalf of Fenghuang Valley, let me teach an ignorant fellow like you a lesson. Swoosh. Zan Feiyun suddenly attacked Su Yu. Su Yu did not move a single inch. Your chance to use your moves had already been used up. In front of me, you don't even have the rights to use your moves, he said with an ethereal, indifferent voice. Su Yu finally moved, for the first time since entering the arena. He merely lifted a finger, pointing toward Zhang Feiyun. Suddenly, a snowstorm stirred. As if it had been summoned by its master, the sky was filled with snowflakes which danced wildly. Waves after waves of a freezing cold aura swept across the vast skies and great earth. Zhang Feiyun stiffened as he felt the mysterious changes. Stop trying to deceive me by mystifying yourself. Zhang Feiyun grunted disdainfully as he decisively said, mountain rivers burying. He was unable to display his fist technique, as the snowflakes suddenly became countless icicles. They were everywhere, there was nothing the icicles could not penetrate. Zhang Feiyun could not defend himself in time. Ah! With a loud scream, Zhang Feiyun's body was pierced by countless icicles in an instant. Fresh blood covered his entire body. The blood spurted in all directions and froze into blood-red ice needles, which fell onto the arena stage. Dense willows, bright flowers. Faced with such a precarious situation, Zhang Feiyun decisively decided to showcase his holy decree, naively thinking that, with his light-filled body, he could escape the ice-cold attacks. However, he had no chance to display his holy decree. Crack! The snowflakes which filled the skies cracked with a loud bang, turning into countless sparkling droplets, trickling onto Zhang Feiyun's body. The cold drops pierced through his bones and into his soul. Trickling onto Zhang Feiyun's body too fast for the naked eye to detect, the droplets started to freeze. In a blink, Zhang Feiyun had been turned into an ice sculpture. He was frozen in his spot, prepared to launch his holy decree which he ultimately could not display it at all. Slowly putting down his finger, Su Yu stood on his original spot, his feet had not moved a single inch since the beginning. I already gave you the chance to use your moves. Su Yu sighed lightly with his hands clasped behind his back. His silver hair danced amidst the snowstorm. The charismatic purple-clothed figure looked like a deity with his silver hair, he contrasted brilliantly with the silent audience. Zhang Feiyun had no chance to use his moves. Whether it was mountain river burying fist or dense willows bright flowers, he had been defeated with a mere raise of one finger by Su Yu. He didn't even have a chance to use his holy decree. The silence continued, before a gasp of astonishment could be heard. Lu Kun's face was horrified and his heart thumped madly. He had always thought of Su Yu as an arrogant person, but only upon seeing the battle with his own eyes did he realize Su Yu was merely stating a fact. Zhang Feiyun, who had defeated him in 2 moves, had not even had the chance to retaliate against Su Yu. He was indeed not Su Yu's match. At that moment, Lu Kun was thoroughly convinced. He held a new respect for Su Yu. The remaining people also came to terms with what they had seen. Su Yu was not arrogant, he had merely realized what they had refused to believe. The top 3 ranking holy disciples stood shoulder to shoulder. Junior Wang Jing, based on your assessment, how does Su Yu's strength compare to you? Chen Liang, ranked second, shot a glance at Su Yu. Wang Jing's eyes were filled with composure as she thought seriously for a moment before she slowly shook her head, he can only be stronger than me. Junior sister, you don't need to be so humble. His strength can only be considered passable, he cannot hold a candle to you, Chen Liang replied. Was that true? Wang Jing silently shook her head. If Su Yu's ability was only what they had seen so far, she may have a chance against him. However, what if Su Yu was still concealing his strength? Zhao Guang remained calm. Regardless of the time and place, he was always calm and collected, like a sturdy monolith. He lightly acknowledged Su Yu, passable. Chen Liang was secretly shocked, though he was still unconvinced. To obtain an evaluation of passable from Zhao Guang was an overestimation of Su Yu's strength. Crack. Kaboom. The ice sculpture had broken into pieces, freeing Zhang Feiyun. His entire body was frozen stiff from the cold, as if he had been thrown into an icy lake, causing his body to tremble uncontrollably. But his heart shook the most. Su Yu's strength was terrifying. Although it could be said Su Yu was merely borrowing the weather's power, who could guarantee that Su Yu did not have other tricks up his sleeves? Thinking back on his arrogance towards Su Yu, even announcing his intention to give Su Yu a handicap of 3 moves. Zhang Feiyun was extremely ashamed. Zhang Feiyun covered his face while he retreated down the arena stage before he left in embarrassment. Most of the holy disciples, for a moment, felt extremely proud. No matter how strong you were, when faced with Su Yu, you wouldn't even have a chance to strike. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. The 5 holy disciples shifted their gaze toward Su Yu. Zhang Feiyun had defeated Lu Kun in an instant, yet Su Yu had obliterated Zhang Feiyun with a mere finger. Undoubtedly, Su Yu had replaced Lu Kun and had become the 5th-ranking holy disciple. If they wanted to accompany the Holy King, they would have to defeat Su Yu. The only thing was, upon seeing Su Yu's strength with their own eyes, the 5 holy disciples could not muster up enough courage to challenge him. After struggling for a while, they eventually gave up. For Lu Kun, they could muster up enough courage to challenge him. As for Su Yu, he was like a chasm in the sky, mysterious and terrifying. The crowd sighed. Su Yu, who was once a level 5 upper tier, had actually become one of the top 5 strongest holy disciples. Holy King, according to your promise, if I became a holy disciple you would retrieve the holy powers within Jingyu's body. Su Yu turned towards the Holy King calmly. That was indeed the Holy King's promise to Su Yu. In a month's time, should Su Yu be unable to become a holy disciple, Sha Jingyu would die as a warning to the others. Unexpectedly, the Holy King replied coldly, no. The audience fell into silence. The Holy King had actually gone back on his word. Everyone was bewildered why the Holy King wanted to kill Sha Jingyu so badly. A sliver of holy energy had persisted inside Sha Jingyu for a month, and was now on the verge of exploding. Su Yu's face stiffened. Holy King, are you forcing me to attack you? The Holy King's tired face was as calm as usual as he stepped forward, looking up at the sky full of snow. The top 5 holy disciples, follow me. The sanctuary, as of now, is dissolved. He actually disregarded Su Yu's words. It was at that moment, Sha Jingyu's body, as if receiving some sort of shock, began to show signs of an imminent explosion. Gasp. Sha Jingyu gasped and her slender body trembled as her face revealed immense pain. Swoosh. Su Yu flew towards the arena stage, hugging Sha Jingyu into his arms as he shot a cold gaze at the Holy King. Holy King, you are. No. Sha Jingyu extended her delicate jade-like hands, covering Su Yu's lips. You have mistaken the Holy King. Sha Jingyu looked at the Holy King and said gratefully, this sliver of holy power actually aids the holder with achieving breakthroughs for their cultivation base. The Holy King is actually rewarding you. Shish. Those within earshot were shocked. Su Yu's words, there's someone I have to meet, had moved the Holy King. The Holy King had pretended to be angry when he inserted his holy powers into Sha Jingyu's body. However, in actuality, it was a form of motivating Su Yu, in hopes he would train hard during the final month of the sanctuary's existence. It was a reward for Su Yu's courage and standing up to him. This sliver of holy power, right from the start, was not meant to make Sha Jingyu's body explode. On the contrary, it was meant to remain inside her body. After 1 month's time, it would explode and greatly boost Sha Jingyu's cultivation base. The Holy King's good intentions touched everyone's hearts. Su Yu cupped his hands and bowed apologetically, thank you, Holy King, for giving your blessing. The Holy King, who was walking in front, coldly snorted, it won't happen again. After achieving the breakthrough, Sha Jingyu's body was stiff. Su Yu knelt down and gently comforted her, I'll carry you. Sha Jingyu's face blushed with embarrassment as she bit her lips lightly, conscious of the eyes locked on them. However, after experiencing the grief of losing Su Yu and then regaining him again, Sha Jingyu's heart had become more honest about her inner feelings. She had no way to refute the fact that Su Yu had become an irreplaceable person in her heart. With a flushed face, Sha Jingyu climbed onto Su Yu's back and buried her head against his shoulder before shutting her eyes in embarrassment, not daring to make eye contact with anyone. Comparatively, Su Yu's mind was clear. Sha Jingyu was his benefactor, therefore he could harbor no ill thoughts towards her. The Holy King frowned, I can only bring the top 5 holy disciples. Sha Jingyu may not come along. Sha Jingyu's face turned stiff as she whispered softly, "Brother Yu, let me down." After this parting, they would be in different parts of the world. She might not see Su Yu again for the rest of her life. Sha Jingyu's heart constricted as she felt unbearable pain in her chest. She may go. Su Yu took out a jade pendant shaped like a fire phoenix. It was what Senior Qin had passed him before they had parted. With this jade pendant in hand, one may enter Fenghuang Valley. The Holy King was slightly shaken, but he begrudgingly agreed, "Okay, she may come along." Sha Jingyu was extremely elated. She hugged Su Yu's neck and whispered in a soft voice, "Thank you, Brother Yu." As he smelled the sweet aroma near his cheek, Su Yu smiled. Long Xiaoyu gazed at Sha Jingyu's figure in the distance. "Jingyu, I wish you happiness." Before they left, the Holy King made a trip to the evil forest. After half a day, there were more than 100 saint-grade holy elixirs in his hand. "Chu Changjian, distribute these. Everyone gets one, and from now onward, the sanctuary is dissolved." The Holy King made his final preparations. All the slayers residing inside the evil forest, in nearly half a day, had been slaughtered by him. Without the Holy King, leaving them behind would have resulted in more problems in the future. Su Yu was shocked by the Holy King's strength. The evil forest was so huge, and many clever slayers were adept at hiding themselves. Yet, in nearly half a day, they were all obliterated. His strength had reached a level akin to a deity, according to what the ancient records described. "If you all wish to remain in the sanctuary and train, I will not stop you, but you may not mention my name anymore," the Holy King announced coldly. "Teacher." The 5 holy disciples bowed simultaneously as they sent him off with tears in their eyes. The sanctuary was dissolved, just like that. Before leaving the sanctuary, the Holy King turned around and looked into the distance, at the sanctuary he had created. His aged eyes revealed signs of reluctance. Reluctance was soon replaced with resoluteness. "Holy King, why are we heading towards Fenghuang Valley?" Su Yu asked, bewildered. Zhao Guang coldly lashed out at him, "Junior Su. How could you doubt the Holy King's motives? As a holy disciple, how could one question the Holy King's actions? You all have a need to know." The Holy King raised his hands and spoke bleakly. "My reason for establishing the sanctuary for 100 years was to search for and gather talents. It's the same with Fenghuang Valley." The Holy King confessed this had been a secret to everyone. "The two of us, the Holy Kings, made a pact that we would nurture and train our own batch of talents. After a century, we would then meet and fight," the Holy King continued. "After trying for a century, with countless batches of new talents coming and going, I have ultimately nurtured the strongest batch, you all. It is the same for Fenghuang Valley. After years of trying, they have nurtured the strongest batch of Fenghuang Valley talents." Su Yu was in awe. Fenghuang Valley and the sanctuary actually made a pact to hold the fight of the century. It was no wonder that the sanctuary had set up martial arts training institutes and held holy meets in the alliance of the 9 empires. It was actually done to filter through and select the finest talents in preparation for this fight of the century. The only thing was, why did the Holy King and Fenghuang Valley's master arrange for the fight of the century? The Holy King did not mention why, and Su Yu dared not ask any more questions. "This battle, all of you have to achieve the top place. This will be the only chance in your entire life to achieve a breakthrough into Holy King." What? Everyone was equally shocked. The only chance to achieve a breakthrough into Holy King. The entire Shenyu continent was the size of 10 Earths. For an entire century, the whole continent had not seen the birth of a third Holy King. Undoubtedly, the creation of a Holy King was extremely difficult and rare. Shenyu continent's resources are limited. It is unable to produce Holy Kings. This fight of the century will determine your fates from now onward. The Holy King sighed, to live on as a mortal and be treated like an ant, or to be a fish that leaps over the dragon's gate, entering an entirely new world. All that will be decided in this fight of the century. Zhao Guang, Chen Liang, and Wang Jing, the 3 strongest holy disciples, trembled greatly, intent on battling. This battle will result in me, Zhao Guang, becoming king of the century. The usually stoic and silent Zhao Guang was rarely so sharp. Over a span of 100 years, the continent's peak battle would decide if they lived the rest of their lives as ants, or as a dragon soaring the nine skies. Chen Liang and Wang Jing did not want to admit defeat, their eyes lit up as well. Su Yu and Sha Jingyu also could not help but become excited. Ants are dragons, this was a rare opportunity to change their entire lives, it would be the fight of the century. I, Su Yu, also want to challenge the world. Su Yu's tightly shut eyes almost cracked open, a brilliant ray of light faintly appeared. In this world, if you did not control everything, you controlled nothing. Su Yu came from a humble background and had experienced the pain of having his love snatched away from him. He had experienced the misfortune of having his family killed and had experienced being separated from Xianer. All had happened because he had lacked strength, the weak had no power over their fate. The strong controlled all fates. Su Yu wanted to ascend the throne of the Holy King and, from then onward, control his own fate. Zhao Guang lightly shook his head, with me, Zhao Guang, around, you can only look up to me. This will be decided in the fight of the century. Su Yu shot back. Zhao Guang coldly shook his head, know your place. The fight of the century had stirred up everyone's spirits and hostility. Who would claim the glorious title King of the Continent, the King of the Century? A month later, in an unpopulated area of the Fenghuang Empire's hinterland, there was a mountain valley surrounded by clouds, filled with a celestial aura. A petite figure was panting heavily in her training arena, her body drenched full of sweat. She faced an incredibly charming youth around 20 years old, who had a pleasant smile on his face. Junior Xianer, your cultivation base has increased so fast that your cultivation techniques are unable to catch up in time. As such, your strength is slightly low, only rivaling a level 8 lower tier. The youth retracted his fists and laughed while commenting on Xianer's inadequacies. Xianer wiped away the beads of sweat on her forehead and frowned. Sooner or later, I will catch up to you, Senior Lu Guang. Lu Guang was extremely gentle and elegant. With a smile on his face, his gaze towards Qin Xianer was one filled with love. Various elders who watched the battle smiled in relief. As expected of Xianer, as a part of the bloodline of the 9 phoenixes. With sufficient spirit elixirs, her training speed is beyond imagination. Now, she has already reached level 8 peak tier. Although her foundation is not solid, with a little bit of training, that problem can be easily resolved. Lu Guang is even more amazing. With such gifted talents, it is difficult to find someone who can hope to compete with him. In terms of his abilities, he has long surpassed us elders, and is merely a short distance beneath the Holy King. Rumors say that Lu Guang once challenged the Holy King. Lu Guang was the strongest genius in Fenghuang Valley's 100-year history. His abilities were beyond level 9 peak, and he had achieved the level of half-Holy King. Across the entire Shenyu continent, aside from the 2 Holy Kings, nobody was his match. Hehe, have you all realized that Lu Guang and Xianer are very compatible? Various elders fixated their eyes on them. Both of them standing side by side, one was handsome and elegant, the other one was petite and dainty. They were indeed compatible. You all don't know, but the Valley Master has already decided. After the fight of the century, she will betroth Xianer to Lu Guang and conduct the marriage ceremony immediately. Haha, a perfect match made in heaven, they are more than compatible. However, rumors say Qin Xianer already has a fiancée. Fiancée? Has he gotten approval from Fenghuang Valley? If not, who does he think he is? All the elders coldly shook their heads as they smiled and looked at the 2, soon-to-be engaged martial artists. As for Su Yu, he had been completely disregarded. Dong, dong, dong. The ringing of a bell could be heard, which caught everyone's attention. The Valley Master's emergency summons. Don't tell me, is the Holy King from the Alliance of the 9 countries here? Lu Guang's elegant and handsome face revealed a cold look. I heard from Feiyun that Xianer's fiancée is also among them. Humph. Came at the right time. Su Yu and Gang had traveled a great distance before they finally reached Fenghuang Valley, and they now sat quietly in the big meeting hall. The core members of the valley had already arrived. Fenghuang Valley's master was an old lady who over 100 years old. The 2 holy kings had not met in the past 100 years, and now they stared at each other. Li Guang, sometime in the past 100 years you've grown old, Fenghuang Valley's master sighed. The Holy King's actual name was Li Guang. Hee, Shu Rong, you are also don't look like how you used to, Li Guang laughed. The two Holy Kings sighed, time spared no one. Shu Rong squinted her old eyes and fixated her sight on a silver-haired, purple-clothed teenager, who was sitting down with his eyes shut tight. You are Su Yu? Shu Rong asked indifferently. The holy disciples were all shocked. Fenghuang Valley's master knew Su Yu. Su Yu slowly raised his head and replied with his eyes still shut, yes. Shu Rong's face remained indifferent as she remained silent for a moment before saying, your and Shauner's marriage engagement, as of today, has been annulled. Although her voice was calm, it carried absolute authority. She was like a deity overlooking at the great earth, issuing orders. The peaceful hall was instantly filled with tension. Upon meeting the visitors from the sanctuary, the first thing that the master of Fenghuang Valley did was annul Su Yu and Qin Shauner's marriage engagement. Su Yu's face remained calm. He had expected this, though he hadn't expected her to be so cold and cruel about it. Why? Su Yu asked calmly. Shu Rong turned away, not bothering to look at him as she replied bluntly, you are not worthy of her. Not worthy? Su Yu was not worthy of Shauner. Hee. My engagement with Shauner was overseen by Father, and witnessed by the sun and moon, as well as the heavens and earth. It is not within your right to comment, Su Yu retorted. Shu Rong shot a cold, sharp look at Su Yu. Young man, I admire your bravery for defying me, but, I will only give you one chance. Swear you will annul your marriage engagement with Shauner, or else die. Su Yu slowly rose and stood casually. I repeat myself for the first and only time, you have no right to interfere. Die. Shu Rong's old eyes were murderous. With a mere flick of her finger, a wave of Holy King's power traveled across the distance and attacked Su Yu. Hee. Old, ragged laughter was heard. Li Guang sat quietly and slowly opened the lid of his teacup and took a sip. With a flick of his pinky finger, he had repelled the wave of Holy King's power. Shu Rong, you bully my disciple right in front of my face. Are you intentionally trying to make me look bad? The Holy King asked indifferently. Although his voice sounded calm, it was difficult for him to conceal his anger. Regardless of whether it was to salvage his own reputation or to protect Su Yu, he had to do something. Shu Rong restrained herself as she apologized stiffly, sorry, I acted out in the heat of the moment. To nurture such a defiant disciple, your sanctuary is indeed extraordinary. Hearing her sarcasm, Li Guang laughed but did not reply. He had experienced Su Yu's bravery firsthand. No matter what feuds my disciple has with you, as long as he is my disciple, I will not tolerate you bullying him. Don't doubt my words, Li Guang said coldly glancing at Shu Rong. Shu Rong was awestruck. She knew Li Guang's personality well, and he definitely was a man of his word. All right, after the fight of the century, he will no longer be your disciple. At that time, if you interfere again, don't blame me for disrespecting your wishes. Shu Rong viewed Su Yu as a thorn in the flesh. As long as he remained, she felt on edge. Li Guang sighed lightly, as he could not refute her. Su Yu's felt cold. He would have to achieve serious status in the fight of the century if he didn't want anyone to interfere with his business. He would prove he was worthy of Shauner with his strength and skill. Swish, swish. Disciples continued to enter the hall. Who is Su Yu? A refined figure stepped in, his tone cold. Fenghuang Valley, both elders and disciples, stood up and received him with respect. They nearly showed the same level of respect for him as they would show a holy king. What matters do you have with me? Su Yu asked quietly. Swish. As if the man's glare had physical strength, Su Yu's hair was blown aside. To give a look physical strength. Su Yu realized the depth of this person's skill was great and complex. Lu Guang looked at Su Yu coldly as he assessed him thoroughly. Silver hair, purple clothes, and his tightly shut eyes, he exuded an aura of nobility and mysteriousness. But his strength. End your engagement, you are not worthy of Shauner. Lu Guang stood with his hands clasped behind his back and instructed Su Yu in an indifferent tone. Su Yu revealed a smile and asked, then what? Then, I'll marry her. Lu Guang replied calmly. He was confident, I'm worthy of her, and you're not. It's just that simple, that cruel. Whether I'm worthy of her or not, it is not up to an outsider to comment. As for your intention to marry her, who are you to do so? Su Yu asked indifferently. Lu Guang shot a sharp, piercing gaze at Su Yu. Remember my name, Lu Guang, as the guy who will marry Xianer. As for you, you're just a pitiful worm faced with harsh reality. He replied proudly. You are wrong, I am not interested in your name. I am merely asking, who are you to marry Xianer? Su Yu shook his head slightly. Hearing Su Yu's insult, Lu Guang's gaze gradually turned ice cold. You are asking for death. Su Yu smiled faintly. Those who wanted me dead in the past are all gone. Only I am still alive. Hey. Lu Guang laughed coldly, his eyes filled with pity. Before you speak any more, you should ask everyone who I am. Your foolishness and ignorance will cost you. Who was Lu Guang? Beneath the Holy King, he was the strongest disciple. He was the most overwhelming, legendary genius the continent had seen in 100 years. He was merely one step away to becoming a holy king. To anger him was not much different than angering a holy king. The only difference was that nobody could save Su Yu if he angered the holy king. Even now, only a holy king could save him from Lu Guang. After his speech, Lu Guang advanced. If I want you to die, not even heavens can stop me. Boom. Lu Guang was over 30 feet away. A wave of solidified vital energy traveled at the speed of light, not giving anyone any time to react. The people from Sanctuary were shocked. But, it was already too late. Su Yu was unable to react in time, his chest had been pierced through right on the spot. Everyone from the Sanctuary and Fenghuang Valley was astonished. Lu Guang's attack had surpassed the scope of a martial artist, it had exhibited a tinge of a holy king's power. The continent's legendary genius, the man beneath only the holy king, was indeed extremely terrifying. Poof! Su Yu, whose body had been pierced all the way through, turned into a crystallized light and scattered in the air with a small explosion. Everyone was shocked, as there was no trace of blood. It turned out that it had only been Su Yu's afterimage. Due to how realistic it had appeared, no one had noticed. It was then they realized at the gates of the hall stood a silver-haired young man in purple clothes. With his hands clasped behind his back and his back facing the masses, he looked up the sky. Didn't you say you wanted to battle me? Why are you attacking my afterimage? Everyone gasped in astonishment. His seat was 300 feet away from the gate. Su Yu had teleported over in the blink of an eye. How did he do that? Was he a human, or a ghost? Lu Guang turned around coldly. Humph. Your speed is passable. It was far more than passable. A speed like Su Yu's was extremely difficult for those below Holy King level to achieve. Su Yu pretended to ignore his remark as he walked outside of the hall. HMPH. You want to escape? Lu Guang mocked him scornfully. Su Yu shook his head and replied, no, whether anyone interferes, you have to die. But, your death alone is enough, I don't want to harm any innocent bystanders. The people inside the hall gasped in astonishment. Su Yu's arrogance was unprecedented. Where had Su found such confidence? With a mere sentence from Su Yu, though he claimed he didn't want to harm any innocents, made everyone shudder. According to the hidden meaning behind Su Yu's words, the entire hall, full of geniuses from the last century, would be in danger as Su Yu got into a fight. Such words would only make sense coming from a holy king. Su Yu was too arrogant. However, the few people from Sanctuary merely frowned. When the disciples of the Sanctuary all thought Su Yu was extremely arrogant, he had proved them wrong with a magnificent battle, as if to prove to them that he was merely stating a fact with his arrogance. Could it be that he being honest here too? If that was the case, how strong was Su Yu? Lu Guang laughed angrily. Preposterous. I shall experience for myself. Where did you get arrogance of yours from? He shouted. Swoosh. Lu Guang flew forward. Su Yu stood outside the hall and slowly turned around. His eyelids trembled and finally opened slowly. For the first time, those mysterious eyes had been opened.